Yeah, you've got... Oh, welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, welcome back.
Whoa!
Hi.
Yeah, you've got this.
This one's called My Meadow.
It's about my vagina.
Oh my gosh.
She begins her poem. I started reading the thing, sorry.
That's okay. You did it so softly, I thought you were doing a bit.
I know. It sounded like you were like at a spelling bee, like as the
Oh,
announcer.
that's just my brain being
She begins her
not
poem.
wired right.
She begins her poem. Her soft voice guides us through the recital, and there's a remarkable contrast between her cheerful inflection and the more bittersweet nature of the words. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice people casually flicking cupcake wrappers onto the floor, along with
Ew.
candy wrappers lying on the tables.
Ew, come on guys, get it together.
Worse still, the talking is getting louder and more noticeable. Monica looks around at the perpetrators, frowning at them. One of the students lets out a loud yawn, making absolutely no effort to hide it.
This is definitely not Japan, because this would not happen there.
Yeah.
Another student picks up one of the quotes and nudges their friend. They both frown and laugh at the message, and I get the horrible feeling it's more the mocking kind of laugh.
Since we know the writer is British, he is gonna inject a line here. He goes, "Oh, and then we remembered that it was all the American exchange students who were coming through for the day, just to grill us in the middle of it."
At this point, I'm seeing red. If we weren't in school, I would have punched these inconsiderate pricks by now.
Ooh, TCC.
No one should be this rude to Sayori. She's probably the sweetest person I've ever met. Despite the now obvious disruptions, she's still trying her best and is making a real effort to continue. To her credit, her performance is still commendable. She manages to work the contrast of her enunciation against the words in her favor. It adds an interesting depth to the poem. I'd love to see more of this side of her. She brings her performance to a close, hands shaking slightly.
Lovely poem, Sayori. You really brought that one to life. Thank you.
Something's off with her voice. It's like how she was on Friday. Monica stands up, turning to address everyone in the room.
She's like, shut up! Just a polite reminder that it would be much appreciated if everyone could give our poets some respect while they're performing.
Monica looks stern while Natsuki looks positively furious.
Thank you. Now the stage is all yours, Yuri.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Yuri is looking terrified at this point. Sayori gives her a reassuring squeeze and I lean over, whispering into her ear.
Chocolate.
I'll cool you down.
You've got this, Yuri. Just pretend like it's only me, Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica.
I can't do this, TCC.
Yes, you can. I believe in you. I've seen how passionate you can become when you talk about Portrait of Markov. I loved that. I loved seeing that side of you. Besides, like you said, this club could be the perfect place for any of these people. We just don't know it yet. She swallows nervously, nodding at my words.
Okay, thank you.
She rises to her feet, poem clasped firmly to her chest, avoiding eye contact with everyone as she walks up.
Except us, as you can see by her current.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Her eyes flick up to glance at the classroom when she gets on stage, although she quickly ducks her head back down to look at her poem on the podium.
This poem is titled After Image of a Crimson Eye.
Her voice quivers as she starts, but unlike her recitation a few days ago, the meek and trembling version of Yuri remains well into the poem. She determinedly forges ahead, but I can tell that she's not enjoying it in the slightest. The rest of the classroom, momentarily subdued by Monica's words, soon begins to grow louder again.
Oh boy.
After a few lines of her poem, they are even more unruly than before. The crinkling of wrappers fills the air, and at a few points, Yuri is almost drowned out by others' voices.
It's so rude.
Wow.
I catch a few people getting up and leaving the classroom, and by the slight hitch in her voice, it seems that Yuri's seen them as well. Her eyes stay glued to her poem now, and it looks like she's trying her hardest to ignore everyone. One boy quietly wolf whistles at Yuri, causing her to jump and lower her head even more.
Oh my goodness.
Why is everybody so mean?
She's practically shaking like a leaf. Because teenagers are assholes.
Yeah, but it's like one of those situations that is specifically written to be like, oh cool, I get to be a white knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is absolutely disgusting behavior, and I open my mouth to say something. Suddenly, Natsuki stands up, a loud scraping noise from her pushing away from the desk drawing the attention of the students. Can you all just shut up? I'm really freaking sick of this. How can you guys be so rude? We're trying our best to show you something amazing here, and you're just going to stomp all over our hard work like that? Unbelievable.
Plot twist, this makes Yuri fall in love with Natsuki.
Yeah.
I can't even understand how people can be this arrogant and, just plain terrible. I didn't want to interrupt you, Yuri, but I can't stand it anymore. You idiots might as well leave if you aren't even going to pretend to pay attention. There's complete silence for a beat.
What?
Hello?
Only came here for the food anyway. Let's go, guys.
Fix your tie, you heathen.
Once this boy speaks up and begins to lead his friends away, one by one, more students start to follow them out the door. I throw a panicked look over at Monica, who's holding a strange, stiff expression on her face. She looks like she's struggling to stay calm for everyone. After a few moments, there's barely anyone left. Yuri, meanwhile, quietly begins speaking again, but her voice is barely audible. There's just a stifling silence accompanying her words. When she finishes, a weak smattering of applause sounds from the few who are left. She unsteadily steps down from the stage, a blank look on her face. She won't look at any of us either, where I'm worried about her.
Okay.
Monica's voice cracks as she speaks up. She's still trying her best to see us through this. I don't think any of us could have predicted that it would turn out this way.
Thank you, Yuri. You did wonderfully. I have a hard time keeping up his voice. I'm sincerely sorry for all the disruptions and sheer arrogance you had to endure. Those kinds of people are really the worst. To those who are left, I want to thank you all for staying and apologize as well. This is definitely not a normal occurrence for the literature club, I assure you. You vibing?
Yeah, this music.
Yeah, I just heard it sounds like a rodeo. Like, what the heck?
Well, let's finish this off with TCC then.
With a heavy heart, I slowly get up and walk onto the stage. I just got very self-conscious about my breathing. When I get to the podium, I'm appalled by the sight of the classroom. Candy and cupcake wrappers are strewn across the floor, and quote cards lay tossed about, with many of the cards now featuring shoe prints over the words. The remnants of goodie bags are left ripped apart on desks.
Oh my gosh.
Even the kanji curtain looks tangled up and messy. The only students left are the ones who waved to Monica at the beginning. This is what Yuri had to see when reciting her poem. No wonder she didn't want to look up and face these people. Can I really do this now? How were the others able to finish their poems? I look at the clock. Only 10:20. Has it really only been 20 minutes? Taking a shaky breath, I begin to speak. Hi, everyone. I'd like to take a second to apologize as well, both to those checking out the club today and those who are already in it. But despite everything that's happened, I can say that I'm glad I joined since I got to meet so many amazing people. I believe that you guys will love it as much as I did, too. Anyhow, I hope that you'll all enjoy Acquainted with the Night. I start reading, and am struck once again by the beauty of the poem. The loneliness and isolation conveyed so accurately. I can relate to a lot of these feelings. I won't be as good as the others at reciting, but I can only hope that I'll be able to do the poem justice. Thoughts of doing both the poet and the club proud strengthened my spirit, and I managed to fight through the depressing mood. The quiet of the classroom suits the lines of the poem well, and my recital seems to fly by rather quickly.
Guys, it is a real poem. Just wanted to put that.
It is a real poem. Excellent performance, TCC. What a great way to round off the event.
As I step down from the stage, Monica stands up and addresses the room.
Thank you all for coming and staying. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's it for the scheduled recitations, but you guys are free to stay and hang out if you want.
There's an awkward silence for a few moments, then the remaining students start to stand up.
Hello? Shiori?
She's new.
Oh.
I like her style, though.
Yeah, she's cool. It's just all the new characters have really big heads.
Yeah.
Hey, Monica. And you too. Oh, and you too, CCC. I didn't know you were in this club. I almost gave her Toad voice.
Oh, I would have loved that.
Okay, then I'll switch to Toad voice.
Yes!
It's gonna wreck my throat, but I'll do it.
I know. Let's see how long that's gonna keep.
Yeah,
up.
you don't have to do it the whole time. Just give us a sample.
Well, she's not around for very long, so.
Okay.
Okay.
The girl standing before us is actually my homeroom's class representative, Shiori.
She gets killed off early.
Given that both she and Monica are class reps, they're probably friends. Yeah, I only joined about a week ago, so... Ah! I see!
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
Hey! The way you guys were treated was seriously awful!
It's fine. Thanks for staying.
Either way, sorry about everything, Monica! I'll check out the club sometime!
guys. Come back next time and see if Shiori comes back and if Tim keeps up the voice. Bye, you guys.
Bye, everybody.